Welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you have a cat, you probably think you already know exactly how to show them love. But as it turns out, the science tells a very different story. Today, we're decoding feline psychology. We're going to break down the science-backed daily habits that actually translate to love in your cat's specific language. And the best part? These are tiny little adjustments, taking literally less than a minute each, that will totally transform your relationship with your pet.
Okay, let's jump right into the agenda. We're covering 4 key areas today. 1. Speaking your cat's language. 2. Activating the inner hunter. 3. Respecting feline boundaries. And 4. The ultimate bonding spot. So before we even get to those habits, we really need to ask a tough question. Are you accidentally annoying your cat? Honestly, it's a completely natural assumption that our human expressions of affection, like giving a big hug, staring deeply into their eyes, or constantly wanting their attention, translate perfectly over to our pets. But in reality, most of our human instincts might actually be interpreted as threats, annoyances, or just really confusing noise to our cats. What feels like a whole lot of love to you might actually be pushing them away.
All right, moving right along to Section 1, Speaking Your Cat's Language. We're going to begin with a vocal habit you might actually feel a little embarrassed about doing, especially if you have company over. So there was this fascinating 2022 study out of the University of Paris, and it revealed something pretty incredible. Cats can absolutely tell the difference between their owner's voice and a stranger's voice. But there's a massive catch. They only truly react when the owner uses that sweet, exaggerated, high-pitched baby tone. Seriously, when owners in the study spoke in just their normal, flat adult voice, the cats barely reacted at all. But the very second they switched to that high-pitched baby voice, the cats immediately perked up, turned their heads, and moved closer.
What this study proves is that your cat isn't just hearing background noise. They are actively recognizing you, and it only really clicks for them when you speak to them like someone you genuinely adore. Using that soft, warm tone on a daily basis sends a hugely powerful message. It translates directly to a deep sense of safety for your cat. It's essentially telling them, hey, you're safe with me, in a way that regular human conversation simply cannot convey.
But communication isn't just vocal, right? It's highly visual, too. Think about the difference between direct staring and slow blinking. Most of us just naturally stare lovingly at our cats, totally unaware that in feline language, locking eyes without blinking is actually an aggressive, confrontational challenge. To them, it's a threat. On the flip side, a slow, deliberate blink signals entirely peaceful intentions. It is literally the ultimate white flag in the cat world.
And this isn't just some random internet theory, it's backed by rigorous observation. Researchers at the University of Sussex actually proved back in 2020 that holding eye contact for just 3 seconds, followed by a gentle, slow blink, makes your cat significantly more likely to slow blink back and actually approach you. This even worked with strangers, but the effect was profoundly stronger with their owners. Think about that. It takes just 3 seconds, requires 0 toys, 0 treats, and completely changes how your cat perceives you in that exact moment.
It so brilliantly illustrates how a simple physical gesture builds this immense level of trust. When you gently drop those eyelids, hold it for a second, and your cat returns that slow blink, they are essentially telling you, I trust you with my life. You've got to make this a daily game changer. Every morning, every evening, whenever you happen to catch their eye, just give them that 3-second slow blink.
Okay, Section 2, Activating the Inner Hunter. So, physical activity and play directly tie into your cat's emotional connection to you. But unfortunately, millions of homes completely misunderstand the actual purpose of playtime. Have you ever dangled a toy right in front of your cat's face and they just stare at it blankly, doing absolutely nothing? Well, that's because waving a toy directly in their face is incredibly boring to them. It skips every single step of their natural hunting sequence. To really activate those hardwired hunting instincts, you need to drag the toy away from them. Make it hide behind a corner, make it freeze, and then make it dart unpredictably. You literally have to mimic actual prey. When your cat crouches low to the ground and their pupils go super wide, you know you've hit that primal switch. And here is exactly why this matters so much for your bond. Fulfilling these primal hunting instincts builds deep affection and calmness. Giving them a realistic hunt for just 5 to 10 minutes a day fulfills a fundamental biological need for them. And because you are the one providing that deeply satisfying experience, they naturally bond so much closer to you. You essentially become the provider of their most natural instinct. Let's move on to Section 3, Respecting Feline Boundaries.
This third phase is all about personal space, and it begins with a very counterintuitive realization. Sometimes the absolute best action you can take to show your cat love is no action at all. I know, right? Dogs might aggressively cuddle you to show affection, but wild cats only rest near those they implicitly trust. So when you simply sit near your cat, maybe you're reading a book or just scrolling on your phone, without demanding their attention or reaching out to grab them, it is a massive compliment in their language. You're telling them, hey, I don't need anything from you, I just want to share this space. Over time, they'll choose to move closer to you. And trust me, in the cat world, being chosen is the absolute highest form of love.
This profound respect for their personal space also extends heavily to their sleep schedule. Cats require a massive 12 to 16 hours of sleep a day. That's up to 2/3 of their entire day. And they aren't just being lazy here. This is exactly how their bodies recover, process stress, and regulate their nervous systems. Deep sleep is when they are at their absolute most vulnerable, with their guard totally down. Because they're in such a vulnerable state, interrupting that deep sleep is incredibly damaging to your bond. If you scoop them up just because they look adorable sleeping there, their heart rate spikes instantly. Their claws might even come out, and they immediately register that their resting spot isn't safe anymore. Over time, doing this just teaches them that they have to hide their resting spots from you. They'll start sleeping way under beds or up on really high shelves just to protect their sleep from the one person who keeps interrupting it. So rule of thumb, let sleeping cats lie.
Now, when they are fully awake and you want to interact, you've got to respect their sensory boundaries. Cats process the world through scent first, not sight. So you should always perform this sort of scent handshake before you pet them. Step 1, just extend a single finger. Step 2, let them approach you and sniff your finger. Step 3, just wait for them to push their face into your hand or actively rub against you. Going straight in for a head scratch without letting their nose process you first is extremely jarring for them. It'd be like someone running up and hugging you from behind with zero warning. Asking for permission first literally changes everything.
Finally, Section 4, the ultimate bonding spot. Everything we've discussed so far really builds to this, the most profound physical connection you can possibly share with your cat. It's a secret habit that triggers a response even deeper than your voice or playtime ever could. It's called allogrooming. This is when deeply bonded cats groom each other in hard-to-reach places. Think about it. A cat can easily clean its own paws or belly, but they can never, ever reach the base of their own head. Because of this, that specific spot right between and behind their ears is exclusively reserved for grooming by trusted family members. It's an area that screams vulnerability and absolute trust.
So the crucial point here is how you utilize this knowledge to your advantage. You can actually replicate this deeply intimate feline behavior yourself. You want to target the base of their head, focusing right between and behind the ears. But don't scratch vigorously like you might with a dog. Instead, use very gentle, slow, repetitive strokes with just your fingertips. By doing this, you're perfectly replicating the comforting, rhythmic motion of a mother cat's tongue or a bonded sibling's grooming habits.
This beautifully illustrates the biological power of touch, because this specific daily habit causes a massive release of oxytocin in your cat's brain. This isn't just a comfortable massage, it is a literal chemical bond forming. It cements the feeling in their nervous system that the two of you belong to each other. You'll notice their purr shift into a much deeper frequency, their eyes will close, and they'll just feel an unparalleled sense of belonging.
So we've decoded the science of the baby voice, the 3-second slow blink, the art of the primal hunt, sharing quiet space, respecting their sleep, utilizing that scent handshake, and finally, the oxytocin-releasing magic of allogrooming. Now that you know the real truth behind feline psychology and how they actually process the world around them, I want to leave you with this final thought. Which of these habits will you change today to finally show your cat you love them in a language they truly understand? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and have an amazing time connecting with your cat on a whole new level.